All right, so want to do a quick video. You saw the title of the video. I wanted to rant a little bit and give my 2 cents on something that I think a lot of people are super interested in and affects a lot of people, which is health insurance. Now, I want to say this. I want to say this about health insurance. I think modern day health insurance, for the most part, and this is my personal opinion, this is my 2 cents. You are free to debate me in the comments. I think more or less it's a scam. And I'm going to explain why it's a scam, or at least why, in my opinion, I think it's a scam. But I want to share kind of the story and the inspiration behind this video. So, without making the story too long, recently we had health insurance. We had a family plan through my wife at her job. She had a family plan. And I think the plan that she had, she was paying about, or I guess we were paying about $400 every pay period, so biweekly, for her health insurance. And I think total we spent about like $2,000 for health insurance. And what kind of made me laugh and what kind of led to me making this video is we figured, okay, this is super expensive. And I don't know if the value of the insurance itself is worthwhile. So what we should do is let's just cancel it. Let's just not focus on the health insurance. And let's pretty much just do what I think is a viable strategy nowadays, which is just save the money you would give to your insurance, put it in an account that gains interest. And then when you need the money, just pull from your own account to pay for medical expenses. I think that's a pretty viable strategy nowadays. So we canceled our insurance and we were trying to like use our insurance since we already paid for it to get things like, your annual dental, teeth cleaning, eye exam, physical, all that good stuff. So we go yesterday too, and I'm going to say it's my eye doctor. We went to my eye doctor, kind of in the area where we live, and got there a little bit late. We both had an appointment scheduled for both of us. We got there a little late, so only my wife did her appointment, and I scheduled it for the following day, which is today. She does her appointment, and after she kind of goes through the eye exam and looks at a bunch of different glasses, it comes time to go over the price. Now, in our mind, we kind of figured, okay, well, with insurance, since we have dental and we have vision as part of our plan, it should cover most, if not all of this. It should cover at least the essentials, an eye exam, and at least one pair of glasses. If it didn't cover two, that's perfectly fine. We can just get one. And we were fine paying a copay. We go through this process, and the doctor, who is, I guess, essentially ringing us up, says, okay, so the total is going to be about $560. And we're thinking, like, 560 for what? Like, how much is the exam? How much are the glasses? 560? We have insurance. What is the insurance paying for? And so she says, oh yeah, pretty much with the insurance, it goes from $800 to $500 for the exam and two pairs of glasses. So we go, okay, well, let's just get rid of the one pair of let's get rid of a pair of glasses and just keep one instead. We'll do the exam, of course, because we already did the exam, or she already did the exam, and let's just buy one pair of new glasses with the new prescription. Okay, cool. Your total is $300 and something. What? How? What is insurance covering? And this leads me to my views on insurance. This isn't all of it, but this is a big part of it. The way I think about insurance, it should be one of those things where you put money into insurance hoping that you never need it, but when you do need it or when you do choose to use it, it should be available to you, and it should be fully available to you, or at least available to you at a reasonable price. Now, like I mentioned, if it was a copay and it was like, okay, yeah, there's like $20 to do the eye exam with the copay because you have insurance, and if there was an additional like $10 for the glasses, or even like 50 or $40 for the glasses, making the total like $120, $130, perfectly fine. I think that's reasonable in the grand scheme of things. The insurance will pay for most of it. If it's $800, insurance can pay for like $600. Technically, we're paying for $600 because we paid insurance already, and the rest of it will pay out of pocket. But that's not what insurance does, at least nowadays. At least my personal views on insurance, that's not what they do nowadays. What they do, and I'll say this, I've worked in healthcare. I've worked at a medical laboratory. I've been the person who bills people's health insurance. I've been the person that speaks to insurance agents and to different people at insurance companies about different medical claims. So I'm not just saying this from this one experience. This is me saying this after being in the health industry for several years and doing this every day. A lot of times what insurance does is you have insurance and you pay your premiums toward insurance, and they give you kind of estimates on what they are willing to pay, especially you on the opposite end, if you're the medical provider, they'll give you like estimates. They're like, okay, you're going to get this blood work done or you're going to get this eye exam done. This is what we will potentially pay. So your eye exam potentially will pay $100. That's the max we're willing to pay. It's not the max we will pay. It's the max we're willing to pay. And they do their little math and they do use their algorithm, their formula, their AI, whatever it is nowadays. And they'll come back and say, we thought about it. And for this type of test, we'll give you guys $10. And it's like, I get it from both sides. You as the medical provider, you're like, $10. A doctor did this exam. It's a professional exam and they have insurance that they're paying for. And you said you'd be willing to pay $100, which we were okay with, but you're going to give us $10. Where's the remainder? What's going on? Insurance is like, oh, well, we're not going to do it. So I guess you can file an appeal or you can accept it. And it just becomes a stupid long-term process. Same is true with blood work, which where I worked at, like I mentioned, was a medical laboratory. Same issue. Your doctor recommends you get blood work because you might have some issue. You might have some diagnoses that they, when they go to check you out, they might say, oh, you may have A, B, and C disease. We need more blood work to really figure out exactly what you could have or prevent something that could come up in the future. Here's what we recommend. You go get this blood work done and we'll tell you what is wrong with you or what's not wrong with you. And you, as a hardworking employee, hardworking citizen of the USA, you have health insurance. You've been paying for health insurance for X amount of years or X amount of months. At this point, you've probably put in thousands, at least hundreds, but probably thousands of dollars into your insurance. And you go to get this blood work done. And insurance says to the laboratory, you got $500 worth of blood work done, but we're willing to pay $20. And so they pay like $20 for all this testing. But the issue is this: it's not enough money to pay for anything. You've paid so much money into your insurance only for them to not pretty much pay you back, which is their only real job. Like the real job of insurance is I give you money and when I need the money, you give it back to me. That's effectively the way I see it, at least. That's what insurance is. And insurance has such a big pool of money that if a big medical expense comes up, the idea is that if it does come up, you should be willing to pay it. You should be able to pay it because you have a lot of money. It'd be like a bank almost. Like, oh, if I need a loan from a bank, you can front me the money because you have so many people depositing money into your vaults, your bank. When I need this loan for a house, for a company, for a start, for whatever, I can get it because you have access to it. Insurance does the opposite. Insurance is just like, no, we're not going to do it. We're not going to pay for it. And so, I don't know, nowadays to me, it seems like more of a scam because when we were sitting there, we eventually, me and my wife, we paid the $290 something for the eye exam plus the one pair of glasses. We just got the one pair. We didn't get two because two would be too expensive. It's $500 total for an eye exam and two pairs of glasses when we know we can get the same pair of glasses somewhere else for like $20, $30, $60, not that much money. So we were kind of just laughing about it because it's like we've already paid $2,000 in insurance. And even with insurance, we still have to pay an additional $200 for an eye exam when eye exams, when I was growing up, were pretty much free. And the thing you were paying for were the glasses themselves. Or if they weren't free, it'd be like a small copay, like barely $100 at best. We had good insurance. Like if someone's going to say in the comments, well, maybe you guys had bad insurance. No, we had great insurance. It's just crazy how the insurance works. So I don't know. That's my overall gripe with insurance. To me, it feels like you're doing so much to put in money and follow the rules of insurance. You're paying your premiums as they request you do, only for you as someone who needs your insurance. You have them not back you up. You have them not give you back the thing that you paid them to do effectively. And I'm also saying this, I used to work at a law firm. I'm not a lawyer. And I don't know the process from a lawyer's perspective that well. So take what I say with a grain of salt. But I used to work at a law firm and I saw very similar issues there. You'd see people get into like horrible car accidents and they have insurance. They've been paying their insurance. They've been paying it for years. And the insurance you would think would say, oh, you got into this car accident. We'll give you the money to pay for your medical expenses and for the damages to your car because that's what insurance does. That's what you would think insurance does. That's by definition of insurance. You would think that they would ensure things would be great for you if you did get into an accident or some negative situation that was unforeseen. But that's not how it works. You'll get into a car accident and they'll say, well, who was at fault? It's like, well, they were at fault. They hit me. Can you prove it? It's like, come on, bro. I'm paying you to give me the money back when I need it. Now I need it. Give me the money back. And they do whatever they can to delay it. They do whatever they can to drag it out. They do whatever they can to underpay you. It's such a weird company. I'm not saying any one insurance company is a weird company. They're all weird. It's a weird system to me. And I'm going to do another video about like Medicaid because I saw something from my experience working at a medical laboratory and from my experience or from what I've been seeing recently with other different doctors, various types of doctors when it comes to Medicaid. I've been seeing a very consistent big problem, and I'm going to talk about it in a different video, but one of the major things I'm seeing with insurance in general, and this is at least from my perspective from working at a medical laboratory, is too many of these insurance companies, they do this, how do I put it? You know what? I'll save it for a different video. Pretty long story short, they overpromise, or at least there's this idea of them promising something, and they just completely under-deliver. And I think it's garbage. I don't think insurance should be that way. It's a weird system. The American healthcare system to me is so wacky and so nonsensical. You would think you'd want people to be healthier. You would think healthier people would lead to a better economics. Like it would be better for the economics of the country. That's how I would see it at least, but it's weird how I don't know. America's kind of weird nowadays. I don't understand it. It's just everything in America is all about scamming people. It's about hypercapitalism. I've talked about this in recent videos, or in at least one recent video in the past. We're in this era of like hypercapitalism. Everything's about making money. Everything's about making money at the expense of your integrity and at the expense of everyone else, including yourself. Like, a lot of these companies nowadays, they're so focused on making money today that they don't think about tomorrow. And it's so strange to me. There's no long-term game plan. There's no long-term consideration of what negative impact these decisions will have in the grand scheme of things. It's all about, let me make as much money today as possible and deliver nothing back to the people giving me money. And this is not just the case for insurance. This is the case for a lot of companies, a lot of industries. We can get into that in different videos. If you have not seen my video on hypercapitalism, I highly recommend checking it out. I go a little bit deeper into it in that video. But yeah, I want to talk about something else, another personal story when it comes to like Medicaid. But I'll save it for a different video. So if you're interested, subscribe to the channel so you can get notified when that video drops. If you like the video, click the like button. If you agree or disagree, leave a comment below, especially if you disagree. I'm curious. I've had disagreements with people about insurance, and I've heard people say, oh, if you have insurance, it's beneficial because if you have some like big problem, the insurance will cover it. And I don't disagree. I think if you do have a big problem, insurance can cover it. Keyword is can. Do I think they are super willing to cover it nowadays? No, I don't. Before I end the video, quick story. You can go look this up if you'd like to. I've actually heard lots of stories on big healthcare costs being accumulated for whatever reason. I've seen people who have like weird cancer, some brain injuries, just whatever. And they've had insurance for X amount of years. Like not even they just got it. They've had it for a long time. They've put plenty of money into it in the form of their premiums. And the insurance will deny their claim. And you would sit there and think, they should certainly pay this because this is a big deal. This is a big deal that was unpredictable and not the individual's fault. Insurance should pay because you're paying insurance. And insurance will say, no, we aren't going to pay for it. We don't think it's medically necessary, which is garbage. But a specific story, just kind of illustrate this point better. I think it was about 2 years ago, and this made the news in my local area. There was a lady, she had this I think she had like a tumor and she needed brain surgery. And it ends up being like a couple tens of thousands of dollars. I think it was like 30,000 or 20,000, something extreme and something unpredictable that immediately you think, oh, my health insurance should cover this. She submits her claim to Cigna, her insurance, one of the worst insurance companies out there, by the way, next to United Healthcare. And they say, no, we're not going to pay for it. And she goes, why not? Why are you not paying for it? I've been paying my premiums for X amount of years. I've been holding up my end of the bargain. You should hold up your end of the bargain. I need health insurance. I have health insurance. I've been paying my health insurance. You as my health insurance should pay for these health claims. It's not medically necessary. That surgery you got that saved your life, you didn't need to have it. It's extra. It's not medically necessary. You could have just died instead. Why would you not just die instead? Got it. Cool. So she makes a big fuss about it and she takes it to the news. And then, of course, once the news gets a hold of it, and once it goes super public, and once people are like breathing down Cigna's neck and like really attacking Cigna, they go, oh, you know what? On second thought, it is medically necessary. We didn't think about it that much. But after reconsideration, we have determined that we will pay for it. Now, how much they paid is a whole different story. I don't know where that went because I've seen lots of situations. Like I said, I've worked at a medical laboratory. I've seen plenty of situations where insurance will say, we will pay for this thing. And technically, they aren't lying. But the problem is they underpay. So I mentioned this earlier, you'll get blood work done. The blood work is like $500, $600, fair market value of the blood work, because it could be very comprehensive and very in-depth blood work to see a lot of potential problems before they occur, or maybe problems that are existing that you just don't know about because the layperson doesn't know, but your doctor might know. You get the test done, and insurance is like, oh, for these $600 tests, here's $20. We paid. And it's like, yeah, I guess technically you paid, but you didn't pay enough. Like, imagine everyone else in society if we all did that. You go to a restaurant, and the restaurant, you rack up this bill for like $300, and you go, oh yeah, we'll pay for that. And you give the waiter $20 for everything, tip included. And they're like, what the fuck? What am I supposed to do with $20? We paid for our bill. Why are you so mad at us? We paid. It's like, yeah, you didn't pay for the amount that we need you to pay for all the stuff you fucking bought. It's not the same. So if everyone went by that logic, society would be a disaster. Why we let insurance do it is beyond me. It's crazy. But let me know what your thoughts are. Leave a comment. Like the video if you liked it. Dislike it if you didn't like it. I'm happy with the feedback either way. Share the video if you think this is worth sharing, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.